He said a lot of stuff that really is suspicious, criticizing MLK while also praising the rainbow.
No such thing as a Pan-Africanist. He said that's never going to work. And he's from Benin. He's from the African continent. He's lived there. He has that lived experience.
To white supremacy. You are tethered to this Trump administration. You are tethered to the leash of white supremacy.
The creator of Simpsons is in the Epstein files. They were never predicting, they were confessing their plans. My whole life is a lie. Who can we trust?
So Muammar Gaddafi's son has been unalived, and I learned this was done by France. He's been unalived, and I learned this was done by France. We all know the stance of Libya and their leaders when it comes to Gaddafi himself and his son. They are Pan-African, like these people are Pan-African, and they want the betterment of Africa and also FBAs versus African Americans, FBAs versus African Americans online. Deontay Kyle released a video. I shared this particular video here, and African Americans and FBAs are going at each other online, and it's just crazy. Let's go into the video. Don't forget to like, don't forget to subscribe.
The FBA, the Foundation of Black American. These niggas ain't involved in nothing outside. They ain't doing shit outside. They're on the internet looking for niggas that look just like them to degrade and call tethers all day. I don't see these niggas doing no work against none of these fucking Nazis, none of these fucking Klansmen, nothing. All I see is them niggas calling out other black people all day. That's divisive as fuck. Questioning niggas. Where you from? Where was you born? They gotta show you your freedom papers?
Now there is some like ADOS, I think that's what they would call it, FBAs, that's actually in real life, like doing the work, trying to get reparations, trying to get certain tangible things that they deserve. And that's real. That's the stuff I'm looking to vote for, looking to vote in, because let's face it, if black people here in America are winning, nigga, everybody winning. You get what I'm saying? Let me say that again. If black people in America are winning, everybody wins. But it does go to say what Dante is talking about on this app. And you will only see it on this app. I made a video months ago telling FBAs, y'all have a PR problem. And if y'all don't get a hold of that, it's gonna look like the H group. Because the loud and ignorant are louder than the let's talk about it, let's get together, let's make something happen. So what Dante is saying is actually true on this app. But I don't see rooms talking about that. And at the same time, and I gotta say this, it's on the other side too. You're gonna get people from other countries talking crazy, degenerates, but it ain't proving nothing. If you go back and watch this video, I've been saying this, we all been bamboozled. And why am I arguing with somebody who don't know, who actually hate themselves? Why am I arguing with somebody who don't know history? Who don't know African history? Who don't know Black American history? Who don't know Caribbean history? I'm not arguing with people, because when you really know history, it is pointless. Then you guys will start playing the oppression Olympics, and I don't do that. I think people need to look at themselves. Why you hate yourself so much to come on this app and spew hate? And that goes for both sides. But the FBAs, the radical FBAs on here that you looking like an H group, you might want to have that conversation, because Dante is FBA, and I don't see nobody really addressing him, having a real conversation. Go on the Eggs and Grits podcast. Ask Tariq Nasheed to go, no, Tariq Nasheed is in Africa. But y'all get what I'm saying. Do better. Love yourself. You won't even engage in that bullshit.
Hey guys, so what's up with this Deontay Kyle situation? I've noticed that everyone that tries to vilify FBA, aka Foundational Black Americans, does so because they aren't one. I'm trying to understand what you all don't understand about FBA being a lineage. I'm hearing people likening it to the KKK. It's a cult. It's an organization. It's a CIA psyops. We are a lineage. American descendants of chattel slavery. Okay, we went through an ethnocide and an ethnogenesis. What don't you understand about that? We're also not immigrants. This is our country. We're 400, 500 years deep, probably longer than that. If there was really books around to really do the research, okay? We've been here. I'm not understanding what no one else seems to get or understand about them. But you know what's crazy? I think people do understand because you're quick to say we're all on welfare and we're all baby mamas. So you know we're different. But then, for whatever reason, you want to cling to our achievements because you know we're dope. So, let's stop pretending to be dense here, okay? Just say you're mad that you feel othered. But that's not an us thing. That's a you thing. That's something anybody that feels like they're on the outside looking in because Black Americans are distinguishing themselves as their own ethnic group. That's something that you should probably talk to a therapist about. Instead of trying to vilify us and making us seem like we're the bad guy for having boundaries.
I tried to warn foundational Black Americans about Deontay Kyle. Go back on my channel. Hey, look up my handle at Father ACAB on TikTok and type in Father at Father ACAB Deontay Kyle. See how long I've been trying to warn people. I've been saying this since June of last year, and even before that. The guy's an agent, in my humble opinion. He said a lot of stuff that really is suspicious. You know, criticizing MLK while also praising the Rainbow Coalition, criticizing the freaking delineation movement, bringing up black men need accountability when it wasn't a black man who shot a white woman in the face. You know, the most exonerated group in America, black men, but we the ones that somehow need accountability. He brought that up right when we had a fever pitch of black unity on TikTok, and y'all didn't notice it. Listen, it's like Cat Williams said, what do y'all think a plant is?
Deontay Kyle was not wrong in his assumption about FBAs and stuff like that. I'm going to put it to you like this. FBA is more like an identifier, but then there are still distinctions. If you call yourself an FBA, then you should know about the Gullah Geechees, you should know about the Creoles, you should know about the Mississippians, you should know about the Chicago Mississippians, you should know about the Nova Scotias, you should know about the Nantucket black people. And while those are different ethnic groups of African Americans, I feel like FBA, especially now in its current state, is pretty much used as a covering mask for black people essentially spouting out white supremacist talking points and bullshit like that. When it comes to a lot of FBAs or a lot of people who identify as FBAs, especially on this app, they come off as incredibly xenophobic, incredibly queerphobic, and heavily anti-intellectual. And there's nothing wrong with wanting to have a specific identifier for your lineage. You know, the way that we have like Sulani and we have like the African American pride flag and stuff like that. But the fact that a lot of these FBAs move like cult followers, that anybody who disagrees with them is automatically some kind of tether or some kind of opposition or stuff like that, I think that's what he was trying to get at. The same people who are saying that Deontay Kyle is wrong for being mad at FBAs, while these FBAs themselves are pretty much just spouting out and even engaging in a lot of these conservative, pro-white, anti-POC talking points and shit like that, acting like you can't be exempt. Meanwhile, my fucking uncle was literally just detained by ICE here in Atlanta. Yeah, I see where he's coming from. Yeah, I really do.
So I've seen quite a few videos where you had these FBA clowns talking about Deontay Kyle, basically saying, now we see you for what you are, because he did this excellent video where he's talking about FBA. He's saying what many of us been saying for the longest of time. You know, he's writing exact on this. The real tethers are the FBA movement, because you all are tethered to white supremacy. You are tethered to this Trump administration. You are tethered to the leash of white supremacy. And they are basically using you all as attack dogs against black immigrants, just like those segregationist police officers use actual attack dogs against civil rights demonstrators. That's how y'all look. Your leader said that Trump administration is doing nothing that's adverse to black people. Meanwhile, Trump is attacking our very civil rights. But y'all have no smoke for Donald Trump, but all smoke for other black people. You are doing the work of the white supremacists. Just like the white supremacists think that they're better than all other people, you think that you are better than other black people from the diaspora. You are the real tethers, tethered to white supremacy. And while you reject your African identity, you tether yourself to a flag that enslaved your ancestors for hundreds of years. You tether yourself to a flag that subjected you to Jim Crow and lynchings, but you want to disassociate from the mother continent that you come from, insane. So before you all come here questioning my identity, which you always do when people criticize FBA, I am an African American. I am a descendant of enslaved Africans in this country. My grandparents are from this country. My great-grandparents are from this country. My great-great-grandparents are from this country. My great-great-great-grandparents are from this country. So try again if that's what you're going to try to use to criticize my views.
And then he also mentioned like Pan-Africanism and Marcus Garvey or something like that about how it was in the Black Panther Party, how it was all about Black unity and Pan-Africanism around the globe. But how did that work out? And I really feel like all of those ideologies, like the Pan-Africanist movement, was really only in the Americas. I mean, it was all of that started here and it kind of ended here. It never really pushed over into the African continent. Nobody over there was even really receptive to it. So how are we going to create a global Black unity when we're the only ones who are trying to make that happen? Nobody on the other side is trying to make that happen. The one dude that I don't really like is the guy from Benin, Frank Zanu. He even said, how you gonna have Black unity? He said that on the continent, they're not united. He said there's no such thing as a Pan-Africanist. He said that's never going to work. And he's from Benin. He's from the African continent. He's lived there. He has that lived experience. So how you gonna make that happen? I'm not saying you can't. I believe that anything is possible. But at the same time, when you coming down so hard on us about how we react to certain things, you're not really seeing the bigger picture. I feel like a lot of what he's talking about is very much like a pipe dream. It's kind of just like, it's just good to hear. It's nice to hear, but I don't really see no real action plan behind it. You're talking about mass communal practices and global unity. Okay, well, let's see an action plan. How you gonna get people united like that? How you gonna get them to unite with us? How you gonna get us to unite with them? How you gonna get in between all of this disrespect going back and forth? Like, I feel like a lot of this is just like, it's just more like a visionary type thing. It's like having a good business idea, but having no business plan, no action plan, and never putting any steps into place. So all you really got is an idea. You know what? And so Deontay has a right to his opinion. And I'm pretty sure the way he says sounds good to a lot of people, especially on the other side. I'm sure it sounds absolutely wonderful. I'm pretty sure he told them exactly what they want to hear. But you know what? Until I can see a mutual respect, until I can see some respect coming from the other people, you're not going to get it from me. Like, I don't have a problem with unity, but my thing is I'm all about respect and I'm an Aries. So if you can't come at me with no respect, we just going to go blow for blow.
Y'all, I'm making my morning coffee and I just saw that podcast with Deontay Kyle talking about FBA and immigrants and things like that. And let me just say it like this. Unpopular opinion. If you have a parent that's non-Black, you should not be speaking up on what Black people should be doing. Unpopular opinion, cut the video now if you can't handle what I'm about to say, because I'm not going to repeat myself. Anytime we have someone that's biracial and that wants to come into our community and start to advocate for us, they tend to get a soft spot for the oppressor. They get a soft spot for other immigrants because they relate to being that outcast. They relate to not fitting in to the Black community. Quiet as kept. These people make it their business to speak only on Black people, only to then use that globalist talking point about how we're all oppressed and everybody's been going through this and everybody's been going through that. The whole world has been oppressed by white people. Yeah, half of you is the reason why majority of the world is being oppressed. And I see through I need to speak up for Black people. No, that's kind of like that white guilt coming through. You know what? I'm gonna stop the video right here because I already know. Hold on. And another thing, he made the comment that Black people don't know what it means to not be oppressed. Black people don't like it if we're not oppressed. Black people have never thought of a life without oppression. Like, excuse me? I read through the lines. Like, basically what you're saying is that Black people are victims. We have a victim mentality and we can't function unless somebody is on top of us controlling us. That's what you're saying. That's not all Black people. And that's exactly why I said, if you're not fully Black, stop talking about Black people. Like, you know what the hell we trying to do. Like, it almost feels like you have ulterior motives because he's literally screaming at the top of his lungs in this video. I've never heard him screaming that much. I'm sure he has. But it just really stuck out to me how this is the same man that gets on a platform to advocate for Black people to only turn around and say, hey, you need to invite everybody into the group. Like, no, we don't have to do that.
Yeah, I just thought about something, right? You want to know why Deontay Kyle is really mad at FBA? He's mad because he's adopted. And he can't do a family genealogy. So he doesn't know whether he's FBA or not. You know, his lineage traces back, you know, to the United States. He could have a foreign lineage for real, which is okay. There's nothing wrong with that. But in his video, he said, what do you want to see, my freedom papers? Do we have to show you freedom papers? And I just thought about it. He wouldn't have freedom papers to show because he's adopted and his mom is white. So he don't know his family, like, for real. That's why he's mad. And I guess he's feeling excluded, maybe? But that's why he's mad. Because he ain't got no freedom papers to show.
Shabuzi released an apology statement on his Instagram story. And I'm not going to lie to you, I don't think it made the situation any better. I'm going to put it here for a moment, and you can pause and read, and I'm going to break down what I feel about it. Honestly, I'm going to keep it short and sweet. He says that we, and he's including himself in we, he is aware that we, as in black people, built the United States of America. He's right about black people building it, but who is this fucking we? Because we only speak English in this motherfucker. You are a Nigerian American. You and your people don't have any lineage tied to the foundation of the United States of America. There is no we. The only we is the black Americans, right? And for anybody that keeps trying to say, oh, black Americans are immigrants, or maybe he assumed black Americans were immigrants, bull fucking shit. You want to know why? Because when y'all talk about this slave trade, let's go to some of the islands. Would you call Jamaicans in their own country of Jamaica immigrants? No? Okay. Would you call Haitians in their own country of Haiti immigrants? No. Would you call Trinidadians immigrants in Trinidad? No. So why the fuck would you assume that black Americans that have been in the United States of America for 400 plus fucking years are immigrants? This apology ain't do shit but make it worse. I'm not gonna lie.
Guys, Gaddafi's son has been killed. That's right. They shot dead Gaddafi's son. Yeah. Gaddafi's son is no more. Saif al-Islam, he was shot dead, and when people discovered him, they basically sent out a message for people to come and identify him because he was always considered to be his father's, if you like, number two. And it's not clear who killed him, but the son of Gaddafi, Saif al-Islam, is dead. These people just will not leave Africa alone. They will not leave Africa alone because where they think there's hope, they want to demolish that hope. Don't forget that Gaddafi was killed because he was trying to unify Africa. He was talking about getting rid of the dollar and using gold in order to help Africa become a unified state. And they got rid of him, and now they have got rid of his son.
First of all, something unprecedented and sad has happened to the Gaddafi family. As a matter of fact, since 2011, the Gaddafi family has just been going through a lot of things. So Gaddafi's second son, Islam al-Gaddafi, has been assassinated on the 3rd of February in his garden. Now the thing is, this guy never held any government position. He just acted like the PRO for his dad. He never held any government position. He actually rejected every government offer his father gave to him. So he was mostly in the shadows. And then in 2011, you all know what happened in Libya. We know the capture and everything, the capture and deleting of Gaddafi. And when Gaddafi was actually unalived, his family actually scattered, like things were not going well. So his son Islam was captured, was arrested in 2011, and he was sent to, wherever they sent him to. In 2015, he was sentenced to death by hanging, but where the trial was going on and where he was, it was different. And then in 2017, he was released. After his release, he tried contesting for the Libyan presidency. I'll go into that later, but he tried competing. He tried contesting in the Libyan presidency. No, the Libya election will take place this year, April. And he's not contesting. Now, after his release in 2017, there was actually an attempt, but he actually survived. And then now, 9 years later, the people actually succeeded. So he was in his garden. The cameras in the house were deactivated. And then 4 people actually opened fire. And sadly, he lost his life. So if the cameras were deactivated and not working, you should know it is an inside job. Meanwhile, the guy's not even contesting for the presidency. Anyways, in the subsequent days, the motive and the people that actually did this heinous act, more information will come out. But this is what happened. Gaddafi's second son has sadly been assassinated.
I'm sure by now all of you have heard the reports that the FSB, which is the Russian intelligence agency, has put out a report that France has okayed getting rid of every head of state in Africa that it does not want, anyone that is not aligned with France. Well, since that report has come out, we've seen yesterday, I'm pretty sure everyone saw it. Well, not everyone, but majority, people saw the video of the ISIS attacking a military base in Niger, an air base. Also, another breaking news is Gaddafi's son has now been killed. Gaddafi's son was running for president. He was the one most like Gaddafi. He was very Pan-African, he's everything Europe doesn't like. But anyways, he was just smoked.
The son of the former president of Libya, SAIF al-Islam Gaddafi, have been shot dead in the eastern Libyan city of Zintan, where he has been based after the overthrow of Muammar Gaddafi. What on earth is going on in Libya? This is the consequence of NATO, European and American intervention in countries around the world, including African countries. So for those of you calling for an American intervention in Nigeria, this is one clear example. In Libya today, black people from West Africa are now being sold in open slave markets for as little as $5 to $15. Be warned.
Son of the former president of Libya, Muammar Gaddafi, Said al-Islam, has been shot dead in Libya. According to the information that is coming in, he was shot dead, and the people who identified him told the authorities, and the authorities came and confirmed that the son of the former president, Muammar Gaddafi, has just been assassinated. According to the information that is coming in, Said al-Islam was one of the favorite sons of Muammar Gaddafi, and when they were taking down Muammar Gaddafi, they did not unalive him because he was not around. And just for context, Muammar Gaddafi was unalived because he was unifying Africa, he was abolishing the dollar, and he wanted Africa to develop and become one nation. And let me tell you, these people will not stop until they have finished all the leaders who want to unify Africa. As we're talking right now, there is a lot of grief in Libya because the person who was just close to unifying Africa again has been eliminated.
So how are you watching the Epstein topic unfold around the world? Well, for me, the one thing that I noticed is the eerie silence about the fact that it is all a heinous Israeli government coup against the West. As we all know, it is an Israeli operation to take over Western governments by entrapping their leaders in depraved sexual acts, catching those sexual acts on video, and then blackmailing the leaders to do anything that Israel demands of them, or else the images would be made public. However, many who are discussing the topic fail to make the connection that today, even after Epstein's death, people are losing their freedoms and their rights in Europe and America today because of him. The increasing Israeli control of Western governments that we are all seeing today, it's Epstein's work. All the genocide denial by the government of Europe and America, the denial of starvation and the refusal to do anything to stop the genocide, in fact even sending even more bombs to exterminate the Palestinian people, arresting and deporting peaceful protesters in their own cities. All of this weird behavior is the direct product of Epstein's operation. Western leaders are supporting Israel under duress just so that their sex tapes are not made public. Netanyahu is probably watching to see what effect the release of the Epstein files is having on Israel's control over America and Europe. Clearly, he is not in any trouble so far because not only the names of the abusers are still redacted, but also everyone is focusing on everything else but Israel, the country that is the mastermind behind this actual Israeli coup d'etat conducted by one man on an Israeli mission. That's Jeffrey Epstein. If any other country had conducted such an operation against America, you would hear national security alarms everywhere. Diplomatic ties would be cut with that nation. And there would be war plans made and counterintelligence operations being conducted right now for the country, for America, to regain full sovereignty of its government, its institutions, and its democracy. The lukewarm concern shows how much America's national security apparatus has collapsed under Epstein's operation. To all those Americans complaining about a foreign country controlling America, that is exactly what Epstein was doing. Israel's complete takeover of America. Only one country in the world, namely Israel, uses pedophilia and cannibalism of children as a weapon to control foreign countries. American people, you are under attack by Israel. Israel wants your country, and Israel is getting away with conducting a coup against your country and installing an Israeli dictatorship against you, the American people. The only remaining simple solution at your direct disposal, and I will repeat this as many times as it takes, is the people of America kicking out of public office all these politicians whom you found bowing their heads to Israel. All these people being given free trips to Israel. That is the continuation of Israel's takeover of your country. It is the exponential increase of Israeli control over your lives. They already control your economy, your military-industrial complex, your Congress, your White House, even your conscience, through lies, fake victimhood, false flag operations, corruption with your politicians, and general deceit. The Epstein operation shows exactly which side of good or evil they're actually on. Cannibalism and sexual deviance on children cannot be the work of angels. It is the lifestyle of the beasts, monsters, and savages known today as Israel. Elections and nationwide public protests are the people's last line of defense to save yourselves and your country from the increasing Israeli lies, deceit, malice, fraud, traps, evil, and the rising Israeli tyranny and capture of your countries. I get nothing from anyone for saying this. I do it out of my own belief that you deserve better than a devious Israeli dictatorship cabal that is secretly siphoning all your tax dollars, your freedoms, your rights, and your jobs, and trampling over your democracy and your sovereignty in your own country. Just a month ago, I said in a public video that I suspect that Israel had the nudes and sex tapes of UAE leaders, and Israel is using these videos to blackmail them into doing whatever Israel wants, including getting involved in civil wars and terrorism in Africa. Today, I saw in the latest Epstein file a photo of one of UAE's leaders on the Epstein Island with two white girls in bikinis in his arms kissing him. That confirmed my previous suspicion that Israel has blackmailed the UAE with their nudes and sex tapes to do things for Israel, because that is what the Epstein Island was for. Get people there to have some holiday fun, young girls available on site, secretly record the guest doing unholy things, then blackmail the guest with those videos to do anything you want. I now also suspect that the FBI has also been co-opted into Israel's coup as an accomplice against America's democracy. And the FBI could now be trying to use the Epstein material it found to also secretly blackmail the same leaders and individuals in those videos to do whatever they demand of them. I am saying this because Jeffrey Epstein was already found guilty of sex trafficking for Israel's blackmail operation. Epstein's girlfriend was also already found guilty and jailed for the same child sex trafficking in the same Israeli blackmail operation. And the FBI has the Israeli blackmail sex videos where politicians are sexually abusing the children given to them by Epstein, who filmed the abuse for Israel's blackmail operation. Everybody who visited Epstein's island was filmed, including the Gulf leaders. But how come none of these international politicians, especially the American ones, are in jail for child sexual abuse? Yet the traffickers have already been found guilty of providing the victims to the politicians who abuse the children. Is Mr. Kash Patel also trying to use the same sex videos for his own FBI blackmail operation against the same global politicians, even at Trump's behest? Why else would you redact the names of all of the abusers but mention the victims? The rotten FBI wants to blackmail these same global elites as well, using the same Epstein videos where these politicians are sexually abusing toddlers. How is anyone sure that Trump and Patel are not in a blackmail operation? And that is not happening already using the videos collected from Epstein's island? We call it Epstein Island, but he was just an intelligence asset on duty. In reality, it should be called the Greater Israel Island. The Abyss. Actually bought by US taxpayers' money, probably money sent as foreign aid to Israel. The same source of funds for all the mysterious new Israeli billionaires with no actual business where they made their money from. Meanwhile, the only way out now for the politicians in the Epstein sex tapes is to sue the FBI and Department of Justice for millions of dollars if anyone tries to blackmail them again with the same videos taken by Epstein. But the best thing that the American people could do for the victims is to kick all pro-Israel politicians out of office. Remember that this was an Israeli Ministry of Defense operation, so my appeal also goes to the people of UK, France, Germany, the whole of Europe, and even Australia. Kick out all these unrepentant pro-Israel pedophiles from public office. No wonder they felt no compassion at toddlers starving and being obliterated in Gaza. They are heartless monsters who have already eaten children alive in macabre Epstein rituals. It's in the files. Do you see any of them coming clean to the American, British, French, or European Union people about their evil deeds? No. They are hiding and they will only respond publicly if their names are exposed. So you can't trust them to do what is right. You can't even trust them to serve you, their people, first, and not to serve Israel first. Therefore, all these pro-Israel politicians have to go, even just for their victims' sake, the defenseless innocent children who had nobody to save them from what these beasts were doing to them on Epstein Island. Some children were reportedly slaughtered alive and as I said, even eaten by these cannibals in satanic rituals. Other children have kept silent the disturbing stories of what happened to them and what they saw happening to other children, horrors so unfathomable that no sane human being could stomach. All locked in these children's hearts to this day, toddlers who never experienced what normal life is supposed to be like for children. And today, they live halfway between remembering that heinous childhood and surviving the undiagnosed ramifications of those abominable horrors, one day at a time, every single day. Thank you.
So the question that I have is, what are these people looking for in Africa? Why can't they leave Africa alone? We all know the oil that Libya has. Now, what I've actually heard, another thing that I've heard is that US has sent troops to Nigeria, and now US troops are in Nigeria, all in the name of they are protecting Christians. But we all know that is not the issue, or that is not the reason why they are in Nigeria. All the countries that US is trying to go after or invade or pretend as if they are going to save the country are all rich oil countries. Nigeria, Libya, Venezuela, you know all these countries. It's just funny, like, so when? I mean, listen, I know God, the Almighty God, nature is going to deal with these people for us. They are going to fall, and it has actually started. They are going to fall because Africa or Africans, we don't have weapons, we don't have the missiles, we don't have the nuclear weapons, we don't have anything to fight them. That's why they are doing all these things that they are doing to us. But as I said, that fight, nature and God is going to do everything for us. We only need time, and the right time will surely come. Now to the FBAs. Listen, Deontay Kyle, I feel he just shared his opinion, but now people are saying he's also mixed. He's white and also black. Listen, for me, so far as he has that black gene in him, I don't think there is any problem he sharing his views or opinions on this particular issue about the FBAs. I personally sit in here, I all the time say that the FBAs, they are doing whatever they feel like doing. People should just allow them to do whatever they are doing, because when the time comes and America is taking a decision, for instance, currently, Trump is trying to strip off the rights of black people or black Americans or African Americans in America. If this happens, listen, it is not going against like African Americans or African migrants or whoever. It is going against every black person in the US. So sit down there in the US and just think you are doing all these to gain a favor or whatever. When it comes, it will affect everyone. It will affect everyone. Continue what you're doing. We are in Africa. We are here. We are chilling. We don't have all these stress that you guys go through in America. But we are saying we don't have any problem you coming to Africa to also buy your land, build your house, enjoy the freedom that we also enjoy here. So if you are rejecting it, we don't have a problem. But I know someday, one day, you guys will be running to Africa. Even your president was here once. He came here just a few days ago. He was in Senegal. Gradually, you guys will come back. Thank you so much for watching.